All right. Hello, Mohammed, and hello, Hussein from Dubai. Okay. Oh, interesting. All right. Okay. Okay, cool. We're live on YouTube. That's working well. And just let me see that this is working. All right, cool. That seems to be working nicely. I guess we can get started. Hello, everyone. My name's Jay. I'm one of the expert OET teachers here at E2 Language. If you haven't yet, you should go across to the OET official website and sign up for your free Start for Success package on the OET website. It's all provided by E2 Language, which is pretty awesome. I hope you're enjoying that, and I hope you're learning from that. More importantly, I hope you're preparing. I hope you're actually doing some preparation before your next test, because by no means is the OET a walk in the park. It's no cakewalk. It's a challenge. It's a real challenge, and you have to meet that challenge by preparing properly for it. Okay, so make sure you use those E2 language resources. Think about upgrading if you want to go to the Budget Plus or one of our premium packages to get tutorials, feedback on your writing, and additional materials. Apart from that, it's all good. What we're going to do today is we're going to look at OET reading part B. We're going to do some practice. Last week, I talked you through the different question types, and we learned that there was a question type that was the meaning of a particular word. We also looked at a question type that was like sentence completion, where you had to get the main idea from the paragraph. We also looked at a question type which was which of the following are true? And there'll be 4 responses. 3 would be wrong, 1 would be true. We also saw another question type, which was the opposite, which was which of the following is untrue, not true. So in fact, 3 would be true and 1 would be wrong, and you had to select the wrong one. What was the other question type? There was, well, there's a variety, and you're going to see a few in this practice here today. The reason why I wanted to do reading part B again is because most people are worried about reading part A because you have the 15-minute timer. It's tough. There's a lot of pressure. But in fact, I think people may be losing marks in reading part B as well. So you certainly shouldn't neglect reading part B. Geez, I can't speak today. Something's wrong with my brain. Sorry, very strange. Anyway, maybe enough waffling. Let's just get to it. So just quickly to refresh your memory, OET reading part B goes for 45 minutes. There's 2 reading texts. They're both about medical topics. It's multiple choice. You have 4 answer options, and it's single answer, so only 1 is wrong. There's no negative marking, so if you don't know, guess, and you just mark A, B, C, or D on your answer sheet. Also, it's worth knowing that there are 2 readings. Each reading has about 10 questions. It's 45 minutes in total. Therefore, you should be spending about 2 minutes on each question. And in fact, I'm going to time you in this practice today and give you 2 minutes. So you get to start to feel what 2 minutes is like. I can't talk today. It's very strange. Yes, you start to develop your own internal clock. And you'll find that 2 minutes is quite, well, it's certainly long enough to spend on reading the paragraph and answering the question. Before we begin, just let me check everything's okay in the webinar. Yeah. All right. For some people in the webinar, in the Zoom webinar, who are actually in the Zoom meeting, my screen won't format properly on your screen. So I'm going to paste a link into the chat. In short, if my screen looks funny on your computer screen, like off the screen, or the text is blurry, you need to watch this on YouTube Live. Okay. All right. Now we can get started. Question 1. Are you ready for question 1? Here we go. I'm going to give you 2 minutes. All right. Oh, one thing I'm going to, oh, what's that noise? Sorry. One thing I'm going to do, just let me turn off the chat so you can't see the answers. Allow attendees to chat with all panelists. Okay. Now in the Zoom, you can't see each other's answers. Sorry. Fine. That one was pretty easy, I think. Let's now move on to question 2. By the way, make sure you write these down on a piece of paper because we'll check them at the end. Question 2, away we go. Okay. Question 3. Fine. Question 4. There's only 2 more questions to go. Second last question. And the final question, question number 5. All right. So I guess you can get the feeling that 2 minutes on each of these questions is, it's definitely sufficient time. You don't have to read rapidly. This isn't a skim or scan reading exercise. This is a deep reading exercise to fully understand what you're reading. It's very different to reading part A, which is all about skimming and scanning. It's going as fast as you can. All right, let's go through the answers. Now, I've obviously looked at the official OET reading part B questions, and they're extraordinarily difficult and challenging and confusing. I think the ones I just showed you today were slightly easier. So hopefully it'll boost your confidence, but also just keep in mind that on test day, it may be, or at least when you're practicing it with the E2 language materials on the website, it will be a bit harder, okay? Nevertheless, let's go through the answers together. Question 1. So the question 1 said, according to paragraph 1, the research supports the hypothesis that, this is a sentence completion activity, Alzheimer's disease may be curable. Well, it says nothing about that. It says that Alzheimer's, it may prevent Alzheimer's disease. So we can eliminate A. Let's eliminate A. Elimination, by the way, is an extremely effective technique in order to improve your chances of selecting the correct answer. Memory loss is symptomatic of dementia. Is that the hypothesis here? Is that what this is about? Well, no. The fitter someone is, the higher the likelihood of brain deterioration. Well, if this were the word lower, that would make sense. So that's going to be out. And so we're left with D. This research supports the hypothesis that improving people's fitness may improve their brain health. Okay. Yes, the answer there is D. If you got D for number 1, well done. Let's do number 2. Question number 2, if it'll let me change slides. Question number 2. According to paragraph 2, which of the following is not true? This is a confusing question type because basically what you have to do is say, okay, this is true, so I'll leave it. This is true, so I'll leave it. This is also true. This is not true, so I'm going to select it. It's kind of counterintuitive, but let's go through it and find the answer. So what is not true? The study participants had advanced stage Alzheimer's disease. Well, let's have a look in the text here. It says where does it say? Dr. Ding's team enrolled older patients at high risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. So the patients or the participants were at high risk. Is that the same as having advanced stage? Well, that's not true. So let's tentatively select it, okay? But let's firstly make sure that the other ones are true so we can rub them out, so we can cross them off. Poor brain function may be the result of weak white matter. The researchers determined that lower fitness levels were associated with weaker white matter, which in turn correlated with lower brain function. So that's true, so I'm going to eliminate it. People at risk of Alzheimer's may have MCI. So people at high risk of developing Alzheimer's who have early signs of memory loss or mild cognitive impairment. That's true. Remember, we're looking for the not true, so I'm going to eliminate it. D, being physically unfit may result in weaker nerve fiber bundles. Okay. Lower the fitness levels associated with weaker white matter. What is weak white matter? Weak white matter is the bundles of nerve fibers. That is true, so we're going to eliminate it. The answer is there, A. If you got A for number 2, well done. Let's do question number 3. According to paragraph 3, which of the following is true? Okay, so we're back to one of these questions. Fine. Brain images pinpointed areas of the brain that had deteriorated. Scientists measured brain function via a battery of tests. The study had participants recall their own fitness levels. Maximal oxygen uptake is a way of measuring brain health. Let's go through now and just make sure that 3 of these will be false, 1 will be correct. So first one, brain images. Where's the key word there? Brain imaging. Brain images pinpointed areas of the brain that had deteriorated. Scientists also use brain imaging to measure the functionality of each patient's white matter. That's false. Let's go to C. The study had participants recall their own fitness levels. Well, it says here, unlike previous studies that relied on study participants to assess their own fitness, the new research objectively measured cardiorespiratory fitness. The study had participants recall their own fitness levels. False. Maximal oxygen intake, here it is here, there's the key word, is a way of measuring brain health. Well, no. Objectively measure cardiorespiratory fitness with a scientific formula called maximal oxygen intake. So that's false. We're left with B. If you got B for number 3, well done. Question 4. Which of the following would make the best title for paragraph 4? Now, I don't know if the OET actually asked this type of question. I've never seen it before, but I just thought I'd throw it in there just to keep you on your toes. So let's have a look. So this one, what you have to do is you have to read this entire text here, and then you have to sort of go, okay, is it that one, that one, that one, or that one? It's no real method for this. It's more just understanding the entire text. The answer is A, Lingering Mysteries would be the best title because if you look here, it says, however, the study leaves plenty of unanswered questions about blah, 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 blah. For instance, so these are the lingering mysteries. That would be the best title for this paragraph. The final question, question number 5. This is, well, I changed this a little bit. In paragraph 5, the word intertwined. Now, what you'll find on test day is that they, in fact, do you a favor. They underline the word and they underline it in the text. So you know exactly where to look, which is very helpful. So in paragraph 5, the word intertwined means what? The dichotomy between exercise and mental health, the association between cardiovascular and cognitive health, the relationship between Alzheimer's disease and the clinical trials, or D, the relationship between the cause and effect of brain deterioration. So let's have a look at this. First of all, I'll just tell you what the answer is. The answer is B. Let's just find out why it's B, the association between cardiovascular and cognitive health. So we go here, we find the word intertwined. Let's read this sentence. We need studies like this to find out how the two are intertwined. What two? And hopefully find the right formula to help prevent Alzheimer's disease. The two. So what's he talking about here, or she talking about with the two? Well, we need to go back a sentence. It involves more than 600 older adults at risk to develop Alzheimer's disease. Evidence suggests that what is bad for your heart is bad for your brain. Here's the two. What is bad for your heart is bad for your brain. The association between cardiovascular, what is bad for your heart, and bad for your brain, cognitive health. So the answer there is B. Whoops. That was the end of that. How did you go? Just put your scores into the chat. What did you get out of 5? Christine got 4 out of 5. Did not answer number 3. You should guess. If you don't know, guess. 3, 4, 4, 5, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3. It was pretty easy. If you got 3, you should probably think about doing some proper preparation. What you don't want to do on test day is like get a B for writing, get a B for listening, get a B for speaking, and then get a C+ for reading, or a C for reading. That would be extremely frustrating, because you do in fact have to take the entire test again. Some of your results, depending on what your profession is, will carry over if you've done it within the last 6 months. But look, I can't stress this enough. Preparation for these tests is really an investment, because so many people fail. There's no other way to put it. They fail a lot. I'd say, in fact, it is a majority of people fail their first OET or their first IELTS. So what should you do about that? Because you may be in that category, and it's likely that you are. You should prepare properly. If you haven't signed up to e2language.com, go and do that now. The link will be in the description below. Buy yourself a preparation package. Start preparing. Start preparing early. If your exam's in late March, start preparing now. Just do a little bit every day. Build your skills, build your understanding of the test. Here's the thing about tests and English language tests. There's 2 parts to it. One, there's the English language skills that you need, of course, like vocabulary and grammar and pronunciation and reading skills and writing skills. Okay, that's here, English language skills. The second part is understanding the test itself. Understanding reading part A, having a method for reading part A, having a method for reading part B, having practice reading part B, knowing how to do the writing subtest, how to select the case notes. So there's 2 sets of skills. Now, this set of skills you can learn pretty quickly from a good preparation provider, from a premium preparation provider like E2 Language. You can learn that. So on test day, you're not being confused about the test itself. You're just using your language skills, okay? You may have to build your language skills as well, which we also offer. But what you don't want to do is get into test day and look at reading part A and go, whoa, what am I supposed to do here? This is a bit confusing. Make sure you fully understand the test, because you don't want that impeding your English language skills. That's all from me. Do you have any questions? You can pop them into the chat. Gismol, Joseph, can we postpone our exam date? I'm not sure. You'll have to go to the OET official website and find out. They have a help desk. You can send a message and ask them. No other questions? Oh, Arlen asks, when is the writing webinar? Maybe next week. I tell you what, there's lots and lots of recorded video lessons on E2 Language already, talking about selecting case notes, interpreting case notes, organizing case notes, transforming case notes. Practice for that. It's all on the website. Jay, can I have your email address, please? I won't give you my email address, but what I will give you is this. So you can send any questions you have through to, whoopsie, let me just do this. Hold on. Whoops, okay. Just let me If you have any questions whatsoever about the OET or the packages on E2 language, or whether you should take the IELTS or the OET or whatever you need to know, just go to this website here. You can submit any questions you have through this website, help.e2language.com. Just go to that website, raise a ticket, ask your question, and we'll get back to you within 24 hours. 24 hours, I think. Okay, now the questions are pouring in. Jay, there isn't many materials for doctors on E2 language. It's all for nurses. Good question. Okay. Reading and listening are the same for all professions, okay? So whether you're a vet, doctor, physio, whatever, it's all the same. It's all on E2 language. That's for everyone. The speaking tasks on E2 language are for nurses, but it's very similar to medicine as well. It'll be different for dentists, but they're not specialized knowledge, okay? They're just scenarios where you talk about health issues or dental issues. So the speaking tasks on E2 language, although for nurses, can probably be used for anybody, to be honest. It's still very good practice. The only real difference in materials is the writing, okay? But there's not, if you're a doctor, you can do the nursing case notes because the method that you use is exactly the same. It's still interpreting the case notes. It's still, what's the second one? I've just forgotten. Selecting relevant case notes. It's still organizing case notes, and it's still transforming case notes. On test day, your case notes may look a little bit different because if you're a dentist, it'll be dental terminology. If you're a doctor, it'll be slightly more complex, but the method's the same. So look, it's not perfect practice, but it's still very good practice and certainly better than not doing anything at all. We will work on creating some doctors' case notes, by the way. It's just that 98% of our students are nurses. What is the best approach for a discharge letter? E2 language, it's all there. Hi, Jay. Could I know the particular percent marks for reading part A and reading part B? I believe there were 50-50, 50% each. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe they're 50-50. Mohammed, what is the best method to practice a speaking test? Well, I suggest doing test simulation with an OET expert who can give you feedback according to the criteria. Okay, so what the OET examiners have are a set of criteria where they mark you off for pronunciation and formality and all these different things that you have to tick. So if you do it with one of our teachers, they do that with you and they give you feedback about how to improve your performance. Jay, how will I improve my reading skills? Well, two things I talked about. Test knowledge, understanding the test and then practicing the test. But then in terms of English language skills, vocabulary and grammar, particularly vocabulary for reading. Jay, I can't use E2 Pronounce on the budget package. That's because it's not a part of the budget package. It's for bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. So you might need to upgrade. Jay, I took my exam last December and got C+ on writing. Do you think I will pass if I'll upgrade my package and have 2 tutorials? C+ to B is the equivalent of 6.5 to 7. Yeah, I think that's probably doable. If you get some good expert feedback on your writing about what you're doing wrong, it may be something simple. You just don't know. It may be more systemic, maybe something to do with grammar or paragraph construction. It could be anything. So our teachers can pinpoint that for you. Should I continue with PT or OET? I'm a nurse, by the way. Charlita, please send your score reports, your previous score reports to help.e2language.com and we will analyze them for you and make a recommendation. Juhyun Kim, is OET result based on relative evaluation or absolute evaluation? I'm pretty sure it's based on relative evaluation. So what that means is it depends on how your peers go in the test. So if everybody does badly, then you don't need to get such a a perfect score in order to pass. I believe it's relative evaluation. Why do I know that? I can't say 100%, but somebody did tell me that once. So yeah. Jay, how can I upgrade my package? Simply log into e2language.com if you're a free user and click the upgrade button. I booked my exam next March. Will it be enough for training on the test? Well, you've got two options. Either you do no preparation or you do preparation. So, or you do bad preparation. There's three options really. So yes, I suggest that you start preparing now. If you've already paid for your test, well, don't do nothing. Jay, if I got C in any two modules and B in other two, so we can rewrite only the two modules which I got C only? No, you need to do the entire test. You can't just do writing, for example. You need to go and sit the entire test, unfortunately. You may want to check with your governing body if you're a physio, but I'm pretty sure it's like that. All right, YouTube Live, let me answer your questions. And then I've got to go and have lunch because I'm hungry. This is my first time attending. Can you please tell me a website which tells me the criteria of the OET, asks Joshi Jacob. It's in the E2 language website. Click on the video. There's a video about OET writing, scoring, how you're scored, and speaking, how you're scored. And I explain in the video how you're scored. Please, could you tell me how to organize the case notes if they give so many? Please go to e2language.com. It's all there. There's practice activities. There's methods, lessons on organizing case notes. Are all the subtests conducted on the same day? I don't know the answer to that. It might depend on your test center. I think so. Alfie, do we get time to read the listening questions during the exam? Yes, you do. Yes, you do. It actually tells you, it says you now have 30 seconds to read the question or something in the listening exam. Yeah. Hi, Jay. E2 OET is good. I improved a lot. Cool. That's good. Thank you. Please, could you tell me, is it enough 3 weeks preparation full-time before exam? It depends on your current level of English. You may have excellent English, in which case 3 weeks will be enough. You may have low level English, in which case you may need more time. So it depends. Again, send your query to help.e2language.com. What is the difference between good English and, okay, I'll skip that one. Do you have a plan to make more specialized study materials for medical doctors? It's kind of tough because the test, the OET test, is changing in September. In September, they use an updated, everyone will be doing an updated test. So for us to create materials now, maybe. I don't know yet. We have to think about it. How can we contact the OET manager to demand an OET center in Saudi Arabia? You can certainly send an inquiry through the OET help desk. So if you type into Google OET help desk, you can then send a query to the OET themselves. Here's an interesting question. In the UK, how many times can I take the OET in a year? I think that's the wrong mindset to have. I think you should be thinking about, you want to take this test once, do it properly, and move on with your life, okay? You don't want to make this test a hobby. It's not the way to do it. Jay, I'm a nurse and I've tried the IELTS 3 times, the PTE twice, and I'm now looking to try the OET. Please send your previous score results through to help.e2language.com, whoever that is. Again, this website here, we can recommend a course of action for you. We can tell you which tests you should stay with. We have enough experience now looking at all of the 4 major tests, IELTS, TOEFL, PT, and OET, and we can analyze your score reports and tell you which test is most appropriate, because at some point you have to stick to one test and just pass it, okay? Jumping between tests is not always the best solution. Sometimes it's a good idea to switch tests, because maybe in IELTS you can't write properly, anyway, there's lots of variables. Okay. Jay, in the speaking, should we speak in spoken English? Yes, I think you mean about formality there. What level of formality should you use when you're doing the OET role play? Well, think about this. Let's say the patient's a 17-year-old boy. Are you going to speak to him in formal English? Let's say the patient's a 77-year-old man. How will your language change depending on who you're speaking to? It's not like Korean, for example. In Korean language, they change their language according to the age of the person. But in English, there's still a little bit of that. There's still a little bit of that. So anyway, practice is good for that. Please, can you help me more to prepare for the OET exam? I mean, I can't say it again. I'm just going to... Here we go. Let me just point you here. It's the last time I'm going to say it. If you're going to prepare for your exam, please go to this website. We're very, very good at what we do. We prepare people for the OET or the IELTS or the PT, etc. Anyway, I think it's lunchtime for me. Thank you very much for coming along. I hope it was helpful. Next week, we'll do it, I don't know, maybe writing. We'll look at something different. Everything you need is on the website, so go check that out. And I will see you soon. Thanks very much. Oh, Merit. Oh, yes. I'm glad you registered for E2 Merit.